understanding emotions in children is a difficult task even for the most seasoned teachers. So what we try to do, at least in my school, is we try to work really hard with the children so that they know that their emotions are okay, they know how to manage them, and we help them get through this really difficult period in their life where they're trying to figure out what's going on and what's appropriate and how it's acceptable to express themselves. So the first thing we do is we talk about perceiving emotions. And that's when we have the children really focus on noticing what's happening with them. We guide them as adults, caregivers, teachers, parents, and we say things like, I see that you're angry. And we help them understand that that's the emotion that they're feeling, or I see that you're sad, or you're frustrated because your castle fell down. So we give them the words for their emotions and we help them to understand exactly what it is that they're feeling at any time. The next thing that we do is we help them to express their emotions in an appropriate manner. We always work hard to tell the children that it's okay for them to have emotions. It's perfectly acceptable to feel however you feel. You have a right to your own feelings. But what we work towards is expressing things in an appropriate manner. So oftentimes with children, especially toddlers and 2-year-olds, we see things like temper tantrums, biting, a lot of yelling. So we give them a chance to express themselves, but we give them words and we tell them, use your words, use your gentle hands. We don't bite, our teeth are for food. That's made your friend sad. And so we show them that it's okay to be expressive, but not hurtful. And then we go back and we give them opportunity to express themselves in an appropriate way. If you're angry and you want to yell, come over here. And we have a corner where they can sit and they can yell. We have beanbags and pillows. If you need to yell, you yell here into the pillow. If you're angry, you can stomp and punch into this pillow and cry and yell, but we're not going to do that to our friends. Somebody takes something that you don't like, we go back, we use our words. We say, I was using that first, or I don't like that. We encourage them to use their words, to work things out, to use gentle hands, and we try really hard to lead by example. So my teachers are instructed, as well as myself, we don't yell, we don't put hands on people. We try to stay calm and we show them, I'm angry at how you behaved, or I'm angry at, I'm frustrated because your castle got knocked down, so let me help you rebuild it. It's okay that it got knocked down, but we're going to fix it. So this is how we express our frustration. We don't hurt somebody, we just take a deep breath and we settle down and then we move forward. One of the tools that we use with children when expressing emotions is when they get really frustrated or really angry and they have a hard time breathing. Most people will say, take a deep breath, settle down. We get out bubbles and we have children help us blow bubbles because it's really hard to put yourself into a position where you can settle down enough to calm your body and start breathing again appropriately. When we blow bubbles, we have to settle down, we have to breathe normally, or we can't blow bubbles. So we have the children do that. It's a calming activity. It helps them settle down. And then they get to do something fun with it. And it resets the tone and the mood so that we can move forward in a positive way. The next thing that we work on is regulating emotions. And this takes a really long time to do. And most young children don't get this. It takes a lot of years. It takes a lot of practice. And it's something that a lot of adults have a difficult time doing. And so what that is it's understanding what our emotions are, it's stopping, it's taking a breath, it's deciding, making a conscious decision how we're going to express ourselves and how we do that in an appropriate manner. We need to not react first, but we need to stop and we need to think. And so that's something that we work towards teaching our children. It's most successful in our pre-Ks and our elementary schools. Really difficult to do with young children, but it's a practice that we put in place. We always have children stop. How do you feel? If you hit somebody, how do you think your friend feels? And so we try again to give them words and to have them put themselves in somebody else's position so that they can understand exactly how their actions have made somebody else feel. Again, difficult with toddlers and 2-year-olds. They don't always have the ability to put themselves in somebody else's shoes. But we try, and these are the steps that we start taking towards encouraging them to be responsible young people who manage their emotions and that they are really mindful of how that they behave. As teachers, we have a big responsibility in guarding children, in guiding them. We need to set up positive environments, both physical and emotional environments, so that the children feel safe. We need to let them know that it's okay to be expressive, that everybody has a right to feel how they feel, that their emotions are justified. And then we need to help them find a positive outlet for those things. In my schools, we use a lot of sensory material to be expressive, things that they can squish and they can dump and they can pour and they can throw. As I spoke about before, we have soft areas where if they really need to just let loose and be physical, they can do that in that space. We are working really hard at being supportive towards those emotions and feelings and anxieties, trying to understand where the children come from. And the most important thing that we can do is to model the behaviors that we want to see. If, as an adult, a parent, a caregiver, a teacher, we react, we get angry, we yell, we scream, it really defeats our purpose in teaching a child that it's not appropriate to do those things. So our first and foremost thing that we do in our centers is we try really hard to model the behavior that we want to see. I feel that that's the most effective way that we can guide our young students. We also try to set up our environment so that it's a positive environment, so that we have age-appropriate materials, and that leads to less frustration instead of having materials that are frustrating for the child, things that they don't understand, things that are way above their development that lead them to be unsuccessful in the classroom. So we work hard to set up a positive environment so that we can set them up for success, and then they can have positive interactions with their peers, with the materials, with their teachers, and then set them up for positive experiences where we can guide them through these pivotal points in their life. Those are those things that we work on in our classrooms. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.